get on the plane, get to Edmonton. I catch the bus back to Calgary, and I get off in at AF-16 there. Just the only guy, like, no one's there. I'm like just looking around. I've got no place to live. I have no family, and because all my family's in Ontario, you know, and I'm like, what do I do now? So I called up a girl that I knew and stayed at her place.
There's some guys just, as soon as they got home, they cut loose and never seen again. So I have to wonder how they're making out, how they deal with it.
I just felt alone, like just empty and alone, and a lot of guys probably felt that. They came back from working as a full-time soldier to being a part-time soldier. Nobody you work with or go anywhere with knows anything of what you just did. Whereas if you came back as the group of full-time guys and you all worked together and lived together and stayed together for the next few months or years or whatever, you all knew what you just came from, and you could talk about it together and maybe sort it out or help. It would help. So there was that struggle. I remember, I think I applied for EI for about a month and a half. There was a little pool hall up the street. I'd go there and shoot a few games of pool by myself and just grab a Subway sandwich and walk around listless and not knowing what to do with life. Where do I go? What do I head? I still had family in my life. They were in another province. I still had a couple of friends, and I was in the reserves still, so I still worked in the reserves. But you'd see them Wednesday nights and every second weekend, so there's big gaps in there to fill. What do you do? Like, what do you do? Who do you talk to? What do you do? So, yeah, I was very lonely and upset, and just kind of felt like your part of your body been cut off, because these guys you'd spent 9 months with, you're instantly by yourself.
As intense as that experience was, it was fleeting. That wasn't my life. It couldn't define me, and it wouldn't define me, and I had to get my shit together and get back to school and, you know, do something to build a life on. But I really didn't want to. I fought it. I knew it cognitively that that's what I wanted to do, but emotionally it wasn't there. So what happens when that happens is you drink a lot. Like a lot of my friends did. Maybe it was just the fact that I was high for so long, you know, for 6 months, just living life to that degree, that everything else just seemed boring and bland and pedestrian. And going out every night and drinking way too much was probably as close as I could possibly get without, you know, doing something criminal.
Things changed me. You know, I was much more abrupt, very, very decision-oriented when I came home, as opposed to being, you know, halfway fuzzy on different things. We're going this way. Well, how about this way? Nope, this is the way we're going, and there will be no questions. Like, that's what we're doing. And that's a skill I think I learned when I was there, because there was no second guessing. You make a decision and just make it the best decision, and away we went. And everyone survived in my troop, so good to go. I must have done something right.
The debrief was one captain and me and Paul Nichols. So we go in there and we sit down, and this is our psychological debrief, I'm guessing. You know, and the guy looks at us and says, so when you're sitting in church on Sunday morning, does the smell of death overcome you? I mean, Paul looked at each other, it's like, okay, I think we're done here. That was pretty much our psychological debrief.
I don't think any of us really handled it well, and I don't think Canada was ready. I don't think Canada knew we were there, for one thing.
For almost a year after, I would catch myself checking door frames for booby traps when I go through a door, like just subconsciously. Because of the mine threat it had been, you know, we encountered, I would stay on the sidewalk and walk around on the sidewalk rather than cut across a field.
Back in the early 90s, it was, you know, it was just shut up and soldier on. Like that was the mentality. I mean, good, bad, or indifferent, that's just what it was. And you did. You know, it wasn't, you know, what can we do for you? It's what have you done for us lately? You know, the attitudes have changed quite a bit since then.
I drank too much, you know, just what you do. I guess it was how I think we thought we were fixing the problem, just get drunk, let it all out, and then you'll be okay in the morning. It's sort of, I mean, it used to work, I guess, but it's certainly not the way to do anything. But what saved me, I think, was my children. Sort of makes you realize what's really important in the world. And yeah, coming back from Bosnia the first time, that was really tough. Wasn't good.
At the end of the day, you have to acknowledge if you're having a problem. You have to acknowledge it, and you have to get help. If you're not willing to, you're no better off now than you were 20, 50, 100 years ago. I think now there's a greater understanding and acceptance that, you know what, we send people off, they do bad things, they see bad things, and it affects them.
The one thing that has never been acknowledged is the number of soldiers we sent to Croatia and Bosnia and stuff like that. That's the part that really, that irritates me. There's no acknowledgement of what we did as a reserve force and as a unit.
I have my family, and then I have my military family, and I'm closer to my military family than I am to my family. You know, they are, without a doubt, my brothers, you know, and they always will be. I think it was a great experience. You lose some of yourself, I think you don't go over there and come back the same person. There's no way you can do that.